you can see, today we'll be discussing the Sega Saturn. I'm going to continue to show love to the Sega company. So today we discussed the Sega CD and the Sega Genesis in previous videos. So today we're going to show a little respect over to Sega again with going with the Sega Saturn. I've skipped up over the 32X, and there's a reason for that right now. I have posted it on the Facebook. I went out to actually pick up a 32X, and unfortunately the product that was being sold to me was not in any way acceptable to me. So the search is still on. If anyone out there knows where I can get a decent 32X that works, please leave a comment and send me on my way. I'll definitely go out there and look for it. I appreciate the comments. But I just want to give a few minutes over to the Sega Saturn, so I'm just skipping over the 32X, of course. The Sega Saturn actually was released as a precursor for the 32X, but the 32X, as you know, was part of the Frankenstein system, which was connected to the Sega Genesis and the Sega CD. The 32X actually did not last very long, but we'll talk about that. I keep going into that, I keep delving into that, and I'm sorry, but I definitely want to just talk about the Sega Saturn real quick. Sega Saturn, which was released in Japan in November of 1994, made its way here to North America in May of 1995, and in Europe in July of 1995. Didn't last very long. Early 1998, Sega discontinued on the Sega Saturn. Considered a commercial failure. And there's several reasons for that. One of the main reasons, I think, and I was actually looking, I cannot find it. If anyone out there knows any, there's no Sonic game for the Sega Saturn as far as I know. How can you have a Sega system without a Sonic game? Sonic is not happy. He's right here. He's not happy. But still want to show some love. The Sega Saturn, even though it was considered a commercial failure because it was in the market and it was battling against the PlayStation, which exploded and was actually leading the consoles at the time. And then in 1996, when the Nintendo 64 came out, I did a review on that, actually put a real damper into the Sega Saturn because they couldn't get any third-party companies to assist with creating games. So they had to deal with the games themselves and create their own games, which actually turned out pretty good at the end because they have a whole library that Sega created, so they don't have to buy or license games out there from other companies. But as far as the Sega Saturn, it came out in 1995 here in North America, and there's a lot of good things going on. There's a lot of great games out there. The best games that you can actually get for the Sega Saturn are the games that are from Japan. With that being said, you can't really enjoy the Sega Saturn unless you have one of these. And what this is called an Action Replay Plus. What it does is it gives you a lot of different codes and such for the games, of course, but also it allows you to play out-of-region games, Japanese games, games that were released in Europe that were not intended to be here in North America. But the Sega Saturn, with this right here, opens up a whole new library for everyone out there. And as far as I'm concerned, the best 2D fighter games that we have out there came from the Sega Saturn. I mean, let's just be honest. You got X-Men vs. Street Fighter, you have X-Men Children of the Atom, quite a few shooter games. There's quite a few out there that I saw other people do reviews on, which I'm actually going to get into it more. But I just want to show a little love to it. The first 32-bit processing video game system, 32X, was not, I don't care what anyone says, that was an add-on. It was not. It was in name only. The Sega Saturn actually was the first 32-bit system for the Sega company. Did not last very long, but to me has a lot of love. I have quite a big library for it, and the main reason is because I'm able to play out-of-region games because of the Action Replay Plus, which is a RAM card and allows you to play out-of-region games. But quite a few games out there. If you guys can help me a little bit and just maybe give me a few ideas of what games out there that you might think that the Sega Saturn has that are great, I definitely am looking forward to go out there and go for it. Right now I just got Virtua Fighter 2 in the background real quick. The system itself is just, it has its place in lore because it's part of the Sega company. I just wanted to give people a little bit of background, a little idea of what the Sega Saturn looks like. The controller is actually probably one of the best controllers they ever had for gaming systems. It actually mirrors the Sega Genesis 6-button controller. It has the 2 buttons on top. Then it has the 6 buttons, which if you're playing fighting games like Street Fighter and such, you got the 3 fears. You have the fierce punches, the medium, the light kicks and punches, directional pad, start button. Makes it very simple. Fits in your hand very easily. It's all about familiarity. The Genesis controller mirrors this exactly, but pretty brief. Just want to give a little love to the Sega Saturn. I will be doing a more in-depth review of the system when my partner comes back. But right now I just want to show a little love to the Sega Saturn. Again, if anybody out there knows of any Sega Saturn games that are really, really good, please let me know. Leave a couple of comments out there. I'm looking forward to doing an in-depth Sega Saturn review with really, really good games. Until next time, thanks for watching, guys.